Okay, y'all. I think we're back. I'm hoping folks can see us out there. It looks good on our end.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Sorry about the delay.
I don't know.
That's hard.
So,
I'll think about it.
I wanted to open it up to all of you to give a little recap on like what has happened really in the last like 2 or 3 sessions in the Grove of the Ancients.
I would appreciate that.
Okay. Should just the Grove of the Ancients?
Well, I mean, actually recap as much as you'd like.
Okay. Well, basically, we know that the Rock Queen is up to some shit, and we figured out that the Dwarven Citadel is craxed, and we need to get into it. So, the Moonjaws told us, and I agreed because we know this, that non-orcs aren't really allowed in the Citadel. Are not in crags. You can't, it's you just can't get into crags. It's hard to explain. Right. So we knew that if we thought if we blessed y'all with our dead chieftains, if you went and got the blessings of the chieftains, that you would be able to, as an honorary orc, enter crags type deal. And so we made our way that way, but we had to leave the Kashar Forest to do that. And as such, I could leave, but everybody else had to do something to their physical form to allow them to leave. And you guys can all talk about that.
I had Faye, who is the 12-year-old champion of the Moonjaw tribe. She's a badass. Also really scary because she will just wait you out until you die. Turned me into a boar, so that's been fun.
I hope my child was like that.
You don't want a child that stubborn.
Fisher, what did Joy, how was Joy's transformation? What was that?
I've been astrally projected.
All right.
So I am almost entirely useless now that I can no longer communicate via the weird, convoluted method of communication we were trying before. Where
the time loop?
Yeah, where I was telling Time later on what I was saying when I was saying it. And Time, the hawk, was trying to communicate by flapping its wings and cawing.
Yeah.
It didn't work great.
It was pretty complex.
And I thought it was a really good way to get around.
That's a really cool idea. I like that.
Get around the not being able to talk to anybody, but also just further the story.
Yeah.
16 wisdom.
And
I also think that I don't agree with the almost completely useless because you can cast all your spells and affect other people.
Yeah.
And
spells.
Farron Lykenstep, our fearless leader, had been turned into a Kotai, which was cool. But a little mini one.
Oh, the snake with wings.
Yeah, a little snake with wings. I'm pretty sure. A coattail, maybe? Or coat. I thought it was pronounced a kotai.
Oh, Quaddle?
Quaddle?
Yeah.
Coatwile?
Oh, yeah, Coatl. Okay.
Quaddle. Yeah.
Sorry, I might be saying a WoW name for things, because they name things in World of Warcraft the same, but different. You know what I mean? It's really weird.
Just enough to skip copyright.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, Coatl is a Nahuatl word, so...
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
I mispronounced
precedent.
that language.
No, that was just really great. The cadence of words in that sentence made me laugh. I loved it.
Yes.
Sorry. Farron died, got cut in half.
Rip.
Well, spiritually dead?
We hope.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. We haven't gotten back. Time also got cut open.
Yeah.
But that was Time's familiar, so
She
not really
saved
Time.
herself.
And we answered a bunch of riddles, and I berated a bunch of dead orcs.
You berated a bunch of dead orcs, and I somehow, the last 2 riddles was boom, answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just kept going.
I was here for the riddles.
And I talked down 2 orcs.
You
And
did.
now we're gonna fucking fight some decaying beasts.
Well,
Oof.
so I want to back up a little further, actually, and say that the orcish people were exposed to the corruption of Buckley's fuckery that had to do with the preservation ritual.
Yep.
And so y'all mobilized to get to the bottom of the mystery, which includes some kind of demonic incursion fostered by this enigmatic figure known as the Rot Queen.
The Rot Queen.
That's how we got the Blobtars, right?
Blabatar.
Yeah.
Blob. Yes.
What do you mean got?
Well, with Buckley fucking with the ritual.
Absolutely.
The Rock Queen burst forth.
Through Sparky.
And I have a little
rotted
bit
us.
of an apology for anyone who's actually following our material. As it turns out, that first episode that I sort of introduced the Buckley's using Sparky as a
Conduit?
Yeah, as a conduit for messing with the ritual preservation. That episode is almost entirely lost. Ashleen found a little bit of something on Twitch last night.
Found the first hour and a half of it.
Yay!
That's cool.
And so we're going to try to incorporate that into the mix. But essentially, our episode entitled "Give a Lich an Inch" is essentially part 2 of the 5-year stint that you were in. You were in the Kashar. And that's kind of a bummer. But
Yeah.
you know,
You guys
And
had a
the
wild
inch we
5
gave the
years.
Lich is, alas, lost to the Nether.
right.
And also, the Lich took a mile.
Yeah.
And to be fair, this is like I think I mentioned a perfect time for us to do a drunken recap episode where we just we talk exclusively about
Yeah, you guys will get to find out about the baby. Whose baby? You don't know.
Was that
because
episode?
and the whole ritual that we were
Now we've
performing,
tried- we
and
have to talk about
the me riding the bird is gone. It literally, the hour and a half cuts off right before I jump on the
no.
fucking bird, you guys.
Yeah.
I know.
That was so cool.
Anyway,
And you remember
you'll
that
learn
time
about
when all of
this.
us got Holy Avengers too. That was really, really great.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And then we lost them immediately. It was
Remember that
crazy.
old god you guys killed, but in a dream sequence?
Because it looked like a kitten.
So I D&D roofied everybody, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So now we're just doing the Hangover.
You're like,
Yeah. Figuring out that day sequence backwards.
By the way, I don't know when you type this B-Star, but hi.
Ivy
Hi,
Star.
everyone.
Hi, Brett.
oh, what's up?
Hello.
Oh, is it Brett?
Yeah.
Great.
Hey, Brett.
What's up?
We were
Okay.
just saying.
All right. Let's
Very
get
good
into
things
the
about you.
nitty gritty right now. So you were coming back from the
Is it some Malteser?
s-
Yes.
Okay.
so you were coming back from the sort of circular cavern, Grove of the Ancients, coming up the pathway, and coming up the pathway, kind of lined with all different kinds of like mycelium, from like blood fingers to white buttons. It actually looks like quite the alien landscape as you're sort of heading up towards the massive totem pole that I described when you first came in, with all of the heads.
Is that what the T is?
13.
Yeah, that's what the T is.
Got
And for those of you watching, we have a little bit of a map. And I'm sorry that you can't see it, but
Just so we know where to hit
yeah, it's just a
things.
visual representation for everyone at the table. So you're walking up to the totem pole, and surrounding the totem pole, sort of blocking your way, are the deer and the one wolf.
The lone wolf.
The lone wolf. The lone wolf that you saw just sort of almost relaxing in this massive meadow earlier, before you actually started to go in and sort of encounter all of the ancient orc chiefs. They are now standing there, and their demeanor is anything but friendly. The deer are scraping their hooves and just sort of almost headbutting nearby trees, and the wolf just has like a drool-laced snarl as you are walking up or at your side, and Joy, you're near them. You're pretty much right next to them, even though they can't see you.
Is the blue dot me?
The blue dot is you, but you can put that anywhere you want. And honestly, we're straight up rolling initiative.
Yes.
You get up to a certain point, and I sort of like heard you before the session. You were sort of planning on maybe attempting to engage with them.
Well, I was going to try to cast Animal Friendship on one of them.
Well, we'll see how
I
that
was going to do it in...
Yeah.
I knew I was going to do initiative.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
Initiative
perfect.
is-
Yeah, we're good.
So I already rolled initiative for the Guardians.
Bill, you gave me spells. I'm going to use them.
Yeah, in which I rolled a 14.
My initiative is -1.
I can't cast on this one. Can I cast as a boar?
Oh.
You cannot.
What is that, 3?
Yeah.
4?
That is a 1
would
plus
you cast
2.
though?
That's a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess blight wouldn't work on undead creatures.
Yeah. That's one of the...
long story.
Yeah.
I have blight and quick cast, so I can cast.
Sorry. Hold on a second.
What a look.
I don't know if that's true. that blight doesn't work against undead because the undead have to be specifically immune to necrotic damage because it's necrotic,
Yeah.
right? So if they're not immune to necrotic, it'll work. It basically just sucks the moisture out of them. So
Sorry.
You okay?
I just gagged from my bed. I was like reading something else and I just heard you I just pictured the moisture getting sucked out of a zombie and I was like, oh.
It's not good water.
that's my favorite thing.
Sorry guys,
So
that was probably
that's
great
A.
audio.
And B, even though that's the case, yes, the boar cannot cast spells. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I got a lot of things that I wanted for you, but you were, alas, not around.
What did you roll on your initiative?
I
Actually,
appreciate it.
You rolled a 1.
Oh.
Phil. That's a 1 plus 2, that'll be a 3.
yep. What'd you roll?
5? That's a 5, I think.
Will
Yeah,
now be
so
known
6.
as boar bitch. What is it? 6?
You gotta write poor bitch.
Okay. So
The
the
BB.
deer come. They just launch off of the first step, and essentially just fall through and down several steps. They're basically leaping and bounding down this slope right towards you.
Sweet.
And
Does Joy not get to go, or they get a surprise round?
oh, I'm sorry. You are what?
17.
I apologize. Joy, you are first. You see
Yay!
You see the deer start to leap.
All right. How close am I to them?
That was not established yet.
Yeah.
That's why your thing's just on the board.
Yeah.
I was near the exit, but not quite as close as they were.
Okay, got it.
Because we went different directions and they left first, and I was like coming in after.
I'm also going to say because you're ethereal, you're essentially flying, so your movement rate is 60 around. Or 60 per movement.
Oh, that's so much fast. My normal speed is 25.
25, yeah.
Yeah. Oof. I'm a
Will,
slow
This is
dwarf.
out of control.
I got plus 30 to my movement for one of the blessings.
Yeah. You can now move. They can now
I'm a
move
monk.
4 times or 5 times more than I can.
Y'all have to stop telling Will what you got because his
Will.
face is like is really just.
I mean, what did I get?
You can punch real good.
You,
Does that apply to
the
spell
one
touch
riddle we
attacks?
tried to answer for you before you died, we answered it wrong. So we don't know what you got. We couldn't get the answer to that riddle right.
I thought
Yeah.
I got at least one blessing.
Yeah.
Did Time get one more?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
you
got
had it all of them written down.
I did. Let me look through my notes from last session.
I looked at it. So let me.
Oh, okay,
I'll check
Bill will
it.
figure it out.
Yeah. So
What are you doing?
I'm going
Spell
to.
attacks somehow.
I'm gonna bless.
Yes, we'll make it apply.
Yeah.
I think you can bless all 3 of us. Or I don't know if you can bless yourself.
I don't think
but
I can bless myself.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird.
Bless
You can totally
myself.
bless yourself.
Oh, I'm on the page. That's so funny. Sorry.
Nice.
Well, listen, Ashley.
Bless.
If you have another note that says that Time got a certain something other than
I guess, yeah, it doesn't-
boon of combat prowess,
Doesn't
then
say.
I'm all ears because I don't have that written down at all.
Okay, I have I put people's names next to the things we got, so give me 1 second.
I think it may have only been the boon of combat prowess.
All right. I'm gonna bless the 3 of us then.
Pretty sure we've got that one we tried to do wrong, unfortunately.
Okay, so
We're
given
now
the fact
blessed.
that you're invisible, I'm gonna say that your Joy's voice sort of like echoes into reality on this sort of like back echo. All of a sudden, you just hear the voice
sunt.
kind of permeate into your reality, and for a moment, if you're looking around. You can see Joy just for a moment. And as a matter of fact, you can smell Joy just for a moment.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the board kind of sneezes.
Allergic to doors.
That ain't no
Racist.
Ba-dum. Not my fault you smell bad.
What if there's-
It's really nobody's fault. I mean, it was the hand you were dealt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baths
It is
aren't really
the
invented
correct
for
size.
another 400 years.
So you blessed us?
Yep.
Cool. So D4.
Yep.
Question.
Until
Can I-
end of concentration? Yep. Concentration up to a minute.
Cool.
But I mean, I can't really be hit, so I mean, unless I trip and like.
I think you can still have psychic damage dealt to you.
Yeah.
You better watch yourself.
That's
I would
true.
also like to point out that deer in real life have been
This is the
observed
player's
being
handbook. I don't know.
carnivorous. So
And
Ooh,
zombificated.
tasty.
yeah.
Noted. Cool.
You got blessed, by the way, so put a D4 next to your D20. I don't know if you heard that.
I'll take a D4 out then.
You can bless yourself?
Yeah. I mean, at least it doesn't say I can't.
Cool.
And if it's like the bless spell, then yeah, you definitely can.
Yeah, it just says 3 creatures of your choice. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess I
You're a
choose
creature.
myself.
100% includes yourself.
Experience joy within sorrow. I choose you.
Yeah, so it is the boar stats. Yeah,
Okay, these ones.
I believe that is true.
Sweet.
But a boar at the 3rd level.
Relentless. Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so Joe, you cast Bless.
Yep.
Permeates everyone. The deer are jumping down those steps as described before. Let's see, Keth. 2 of them are basically charging you, and 2 of them are charging the boar. Keth, are you hit with a 16?
Yes.
And so that's 2 16s.
You hit me twice?
I did hit you twice.
Oof. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
You take
I'm beefy.
5 points of damage.
Okay.
As they just sort of like
not too
ram into you. These deer don't have any horns, and if they do, they're small enough. So it's mostly just like a solid headbutt.
A bludgeoning
Just
damage.
like a ram. Yeah, exactly. And then the boar, and you would be using the boar's armor class.
Yep.
+1 for
You are
awesomeness.
not hit by that.
I love that.
And you probably are hit by a 19.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So it
Animals don't have
slams into you for 4 points of damage.
Am I using the boar's hit points as well?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Yep.
So, polymorph boar goes down for comes back.
What's the overlap of hit points?
How? But you're polymorph, so you're on the other side of the thing. Does that mean you just come back as Ferg on the other side of the Kashar?
Wait. Hold on. We're assuming a lot here. So
That's why I was asking.
I didn't realize that the boar had that little hit points.
No.
Yeah.
Historically, boars are pretty hard to kill.
I mean, one killed Robert Bertharion, but he
Yeah.
was also, like, drugged.
And wasted.
And well past his prime.
Really?
Ah, he was in his prime, boy.
Really keep himself up.
Bring me the ribcage spreader.
And also it has a relentless thing.
Yeah.
So if the boar takes 7 damage or less, then it reduces your hit points and reduces when he's dead. But that said, I'm going to assume that this boar in particular has... Did you take damage before?
Nope.
Nice.
So how did 4 take you down?
Boar didn't take me down. I was just asking if the boar goes down.
Like, what is
Does-
in the event? Yeah.
I
Okay.
totally thought that.
I am
Me
not
too.
answering that question.
Cool.
Oh.
Don't go
but
down. Don't
I'm,
find out.
I'm going to say that you have
Thanks.
double the hit points
Shop
that the boar
till
has.
you drop.
So I have 22.
Correct.
Okay.
22. Nice.
So that.
Okay. And then the wolf
God damn it.
essentially
Bitches.
starts to work its way down the stairs. How does that look, Will?
Oh.
Make it
Oh,
as
I
simple
see.
or as
It's a
complex
wolf.
as you'd like.
Is there just one?
You traitor.
Yes.
Is there just one? Yes, there is.
Okay.
Wait, so the deers attacked us and now the wolf is falling behind them?
Correct.
Okay.
So as the deer sort of moved up to attack, the wolf kind of starts coming down the stairs, but like circling a little bit, acting a little bit like pack tactics with the deer, like almost as if it was another wolf, and then just moves in. I would say like who looks weakest in the group? Yeah.
The two-legged one.
Okay.
Just instinctually, it would think that.
Absolutely, it's going
Yeah.
for the two-legged one, like trying to pick off the weaker member of the pack, right?
Yeah.
Rolls
I feel like weaker
in
does not
to
apply to
attack.
you.
It's got enough speed, right? 50 feet. Yeah, there you go.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Cool. Is the deer within 5 feet of the creature that I'm
Absolutely.
attacking? Sweet.
You sneak attack as a wolf.
No, but you get
Okay.
advantage on it. For
Pack
pack tactics.
tactics.
I'm cool with that. I just am like,
Wolves and
because every
kobolds.
time that Will rolls sneak attack damage, I've seen him historically roll way fucking high.
Which is hilarious when you've got the Mage Slayer thing. We're like, I need you to make a DC 70 concentration check. I'm sorry, what? Oh, I'm sorry, at a disadvantage.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Oh, miss. unless your AC is dumb, like real dumb. That was terrible.
The wolf.
What is it?
It's a miss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's straight up a miss. The wolf dives at you, and you essentially duck down and sort of Spider-Man flatten yourself. Sails over you. So now it's in back of you.
It kind of skids a little bit.
We will put this
Cat
here.
just went.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is not the first time that Kath has had to fight a giant wolf. Just to say,
Yeah.
That seems accurate.
a wolf that's almost tired.
Poor bitch.
Poor bitch.
It's on the initiative board. I was kidding at first, but now
I
it's
know.
canon. So
The BB.
Are you gonna go
Is
for
that
the
a
wolf?
I censored it.
20 feet away from me?
the wolf, 20 feet?
Yeah, probably
No.
not. Cool.
Definitely not.
Can you back up a little bit and then?
Well, it depends on you need 1 meter less.
I will say that you absolutely can back up, but you're going to take a few AOs from the deer.
At disadvantage. Are you raging?
I'm a boar. Boars don't rage.
Oh,
true.
I guess you
all
don't have your
They're
barbarian
always
stuff,
raged.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the truth.
Hey,
You're not a druid.
Connor,
Yeah.
Ferg feels like
I'm always
there is still that reservoir. Like, while you're in combat and while your heart is racing, you suddenly think to yourself, oh, wow, I think I'm way more Ferg than I think in this moment. You do have that capability.
And I get all the pluses and everything.
Indeed.
Berg's pluses or Boar's pluses? Boar's pluses. So,
This is making me feel drunk really quick, and I ate food today. And it's only 5% alcohol.
On that note, I should get my third one.
I'm a lightweight, everybody.
all right. Magic Boar's eyes turn just fucking red.
Rage.
Good pop.
Thank you. That was good.
Pop, pop.
We should have a.
How far away is the wolf?
The wolf from
crunching
you
competition.
is about like 5 to 10 feet, aka not right next to you, but a little bit,
You just saw it jump over me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm going to say about 10 feet away from you, in that it jumped over Keth and sort of skidded to a halt in some of the mushrooms. Like, it like skidded to the halt and like flattened on a bunch of mushrooms, and there's like these like quadruped like scraping.
Oh, that would smell
if
so
I-
bad.
If I back up 10 feet, will that keep me within range of the deer so I don't get an AO?
No,
Cool.
no. You could back up 5 feet. One deer would get an AO, but the other one would not.
We're still going to back up 10 feet.
Okay. So the two deer nip at you,
Miss.
and that's going to be a hit. Damn it. And that's going to be a nat 20.
Oh.
I'm just wondering why they're rolling it.
Because they also have pack tactics.
Wouldn't they just roll straight if you're raging, though? Oh, we haven't moved through them. That's your dash thing, right?
That, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything I need to know about before I roll damage?
I get to take half because it's
Because what?
because ragey.
Okay, got it. So the crit is 5 points of damage.
Cute. So 2.
Oh, and I just rolled 2 again, and that's not right. And then 4 points of damage for the regular hit.
So 4 points total.
Nice.
All right.
So you back up 10 feet.
And then we are running 20 feet straight at the wolf for a tusk attack. Which is charge. So
Thanks, I was playing with them.
Any fun boar noises you'd like to?
I have 0 fun boar noises.
Okay.
Can you say you hoof the dirt before you go?
Oh yeah, there's definitely some dirt hoofing and pawing and steam coming out of this boar's nostrils, and you're like, what the fuck? That's not real.
It's just that cold right
It's
now.
very
It looks
90s
like steam,
Disney.
you know?
What's happening? Magic.
It's the heat of your rage compared
magic
to the
of
temperature
awesome.
outside.
Are you hit with a
I'm
That would
almost
be
positive I am.
18.
Yeah, you rolled it. Yep.
Sweet.
I forgot you're blessed.
You rolled a 17?
You're blessed.
And you only have a +1?
Boar only has a +1 to strength.
Yeah, but what does the gore attack say?
It's an extra D6 on damage.
Right, but you have the Tusk Task +3 to
Oh,
hit.
+3.
Yeah, there you go.
So 21.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't.
Also, you're blessed, just so you know.
Yep, so you roll a d4 on top of that, but you hit, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally hit.
Yeah,
So
for-
you
giggles?
slam into the wolf.
2d6. I need the wolf to make a DC 11 strength save.
Do this.
Is that to knock it prone?
Yes.
Will, go ahead and roll a DC 11 strength save with the, but you're at advantage because you're a quadruped.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
And you take.
12 total.
You made it.
Ah, suck it.
Okay.
But you take 8 points of damage.
8.
Yep.
Jam.
Oof.
All right. Cool.
Do we have a bloody wolf?
You slam into the wolf.
It looks at you really sad. Like, why would you do that?
And it looks like
Oh, sorry, that was 9.
that you slammed into the wolf right into its face, and it broke its snout to the degree where there's like one of your tusks awkwardly split into its face.
Ew.
It seemed like, I don't know, just from your newly found high intelligence, it seems like it split maybe a little too easy.
The smartest boar around.
Oh, so.
Keth's turn.
Like it's split too easy? Okay. So Keth is going to think back to the last elder he spoke with of Untao the Unfeeling. And he's going to channel the basically teachings that he learned from that he learned in his past about him, and he's going to use his inspiration essentially to activate his I didn't write down what it was called, but basically my staff now gets +2 to attacks and damage, and I have 10 charges that allow me to cast spells as an action. So,
Yes.
as my action, I would like to... Well, first I'm going to bonus action, use a key point, disengage, and back up from the deer.
Okay.
I'm going to back up, so I'm kind of butt to butt with Ferg. And then I'm going to use 6 of my 10 charges, and I'm going to cast Wall of Thorns. And I'm going to do it in a 20-foot diameter circle that's 20 feet high, 5 feet thick around the deer. So they're circled in a wall of thorns. And it blocks line of sight.
Yeah.
And it's 5 feet thick. And basically they have to make a dex save.
All 4 of them? All 4 of the deer?
All 4 of the deer.
And what happens if they fail?
If they fail, they take 78 piercing damage, or half as much on a successful.
78?
78. Can I have some d8s, guys?
Wait, did you say half?
Half on a failed.
Okay, so we're actually gonna
Can I roll it, please?
expedite. You can absolutely roll it, but what I'm gonna say is the moment this wall descends upon the deer, it just tears them to shreds, as if they were sort of caught in a thorny turbine. And they don't. It's so much damage, Ashleen. Catch doing so much damage that they can't even yelp or yell out. They're just eviscerated. Just that's all you hear is just a tearing of flesh for a millisecond, and it's done.
That's fucked up.
The deer.
I told you that'd be
what
cool.
You meant to say was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's the one I mean.
It can be both.
Yeah.
I'm a little tipsy. I need a
awesome.
pencil.
And that's that. So if you want to remove the deer from the board, feel free.
And then I say, Ferg, I got 4.
Or just snorts and you
it's
see more steam and you're like, where is that coming from?
And angrily, the wolf sort of sees that happen. And even more so, it begins to almost intentionally split its head in half. Does
it have
It's the Demogorgon.
pharyngeal jaws
It's
and
the thing.
kind of
The Demogorgon,
after Keth, it's Joy's turn.
destroy it with your magics.
Yeah. I don't
So-
do that.
The wall's still there, by the way,
Does
if it matters.
Cure Wounds still inflict wounds on undead?
No.
Man, second edition was so good. I have no combat spells.
Fix that.
Really should.
I mean, I have a spiritual weapon, but that's like too good for just one wolf.
So we're gonna take a nap after this.
Um,
And it lasts for a while. You can carry it with you.
And it's a bonus action. So you could actually
That's
cast
true.
Spiritual Weapon, and if you have Sacred Flame as a cantrip, you could do that.
nope. All right,
That
let's
was
see.
my favorite combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sacred Flame is either Sacred Flame or Toll of the Dead from Xanathar's. Absolute must.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna move up behind the dear old wolf,
Okay.
wolfy split head.
Okay.
And raise up an empty hand, call down my spiritual weapon, and it materializes as I'm like mid swing, and I whiff it. You're blessed. Oh, I am blessed. Fuck yeah. It's gonna be a 1. Oh, it's a 4. 13 plus. Jesus Christ.
I think it's your
Wait,
spellcasting
you're
modifier.
adding Jesus Christ?
I am.
What's your
Wait,
spell?
it's-
What's your
it's
spell
plus
modifier?
5.
Oh yeah, plus
Yeah.
5.
Plus Jesus.
That's
18.
definitely a
Yeah,
miss.
18, that's
You know
pretty
how
good.
skinny he was?
Am I proficient in Jesus?
What? Jesus was jacked. He was a
Who isn't
carpenter.
proficient?
Yeah, he was a carpenter.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 18.
You definitely hit.
He gave it up to you,
so,
Bard.
so
Okay.
so what was that? That was the spiritual weapon?
Yeah, spiritual
18.
weapon.
And what does your spiritual weapon look like? Is it manifest in sort of semi transcendent reality? Like what is that?
Yeah, it's so since I'm ethereal, I feel like you can see it. Cool. You see it. You see where my hand would be,
Yeah.
but not quite where it actually is. I mean, this works at range, but I'm right up on it, so I'm gonna
That's fun.
whack it.
Okay.
So you can see it wrapping around something that looks like a hand.
Yeah.
But it doesn't quite take the shape of a blade. It's more like almost sharp mist.
Yeah.
And it just slices right through that bad boy for dick damage, for 4 damage. That's okay.
You take 4 damage.
The wolf looks real bad.
The wolf looks bad.
Real bad.
Look, I'm not a fighter. I like.
How much damage has it taken?
It has 1 hit point left.
Wait.
Oh, never mind. I was looking at the armor class. It's doing okay.
I'm
My
like,
bad.
what?
No, I was looking at the armor class. It was like I look hit points. My eyes
So
were
yeah,
How much
diagonals.
damage have you taken total? Just curious.
At this point, 13.
13. Okay. Cool.
I give its tail a nice trim.
Which is like that's very.
Yes. You give the tail a nice trim, and it sort of lurches around
Right.
and attempts to find you, but can't. But you can tell that it is even more so now, just pulling. Its 2 heads are sort of like, or its 2 sides of its split head are just pulling it apart. And they're now starting to form different pieces of like teeth and bone and flesh, and it's beginning to form something else. And you can see little tiny, almost imperceptible white strands that are sort of like knitting everything together in a very, very quick manner.
Great.
After Joy, Guardians. So, Will, you're the only one left. So the wolf.
Anything special happening to the wolf right now?
Well, I'm gonna say the wolf now. If you look on the same page,
There's the other thing that has 2 heads.
yes,
Cool.
It is.
I'm now that.
you are now that.
Awesome.
Seems fine.
Noted.
And in your head,
Totally. Oh.
In my head?
yeah,
Zombie.
in your head, you hear. Do you really think this makes you special? Do you really think that the blessing of failure will have you succeed in the future? Come to me. We will decide your fate.
And you just hear Keth shout out loud, it's not it's not a curse, it's a blessing, okay? The blessing of failure is a lesson. A lesson you learn from so you don't make that fucking mistake again.
Only the side that loses proclaims that.
Yeah, burn.
And yet, we still haven't lost, have we?
Come to me and we shall see.
come to me and let's fucking fight. Ferg's like,
And-
who are you
and-
talking
and
to?
right when you say that, the wolf just
Right at me?
comes right at you.
In fact, both sides goes like nip nip, like it like pincer move like on you.
Gross.
Yeah, it's
you can consider each head to have pack tactics.
Whoa.
really
Yeah.
damn.
That's
All right then. So that's going to be a 16 and a crit.
Oh.
Okay.
Bring it on.
I might go down right now.
We'll see how this goes. So the first one.
Got this.
So, yeah, I'm guessing 2 saving throws are going to need to be done with this, by the way. So the first one is going to be 5 points of damage,
Okay.
followed up by
Jesus.
12 points of damage.
So
Okay,
17 points of damage.
And you need to make 2 Constitution saving throws.
Yeah.
The results are going to be different. Will. No, it's not.
Then, okay, gotcha.
It's not
So,
on the page, but
y'all fucked. Sorry.
That's a critical miss, everybody. So drink.
well, hold on a second. So on saving throws, there's no critical miss.
I know, but it's still a 1.
it's still really low. Cool.
I rolled a 1 plus 3, which is 4 plus 3. I used my inspiration to do that. Cool.
Used it already.
To like activate that thing
To
that let me do the wall of
eviscerate
thorns.
Well, I mean, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deer evisceration. Yeah.
Dear restoration.
Liquid venison.
And the second one is
actually.
an 11 plus 3 is 14.
Okay. So you felt this feeling before. It absolutely is the feeling of the Rock Queen reaching into your mind. But using using your body as her sort of playground and sort of like and heading through all of your systems in order to like get to that place in which she begins to and you don't really know this instinctively. I'm just saying this out loud. Just on a sort of fungal mycelial level, she begins to sort of shut your systems down. So you're going to take 1 level of exhaustion. This is the same level.
Do I look bulby again?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you start to like bulge out in awkward and sort of grotesque ways.
At this point, Keth's angry as he's being like eaten by this wolf. Like he's like in its pincer, fucking 2 heads, and he's just like, he's like, I ate this shit for breakfast last week. Come at me, like. As you see him start to like puff up again, like.
And it is for the boar.
Boar bitch.
Boar bitch. We're going to.
It's boy, bitch.
We're gonna try this again. We're gonna back up 20 feet. But now that we're raging, attacks of opportunity are a disadvantage.
I don't think you have any. Oh, because the boar's. I don't know. Wouldn't it be back? Like have wolf have its back to you because I was behind you if it came at me.
It doesn't necessarily matter in the scope of like strategy inside of D&D. If you're near the creature, then it's gonna get an attack of opportunity. That said, so
Thanks, Siri.
Scary accent. I like that one.
absolutely overdoing.
I have the Australian one too.
I just have the normal person.
Whatever.
She does math for me.
Will.
Yo.
So the wolf
Siri,
would
you're
normally
the
be at
best.
a disadvantage because of Connor's barbarian ability, but it also has advantage because of pack tactics. You're rolling regular.
Cool. Two regs.
No, just one.
No,
it's
not
an A.
Oh, A. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
13 to hit.
13 hits.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Yep.
Or time.
Yeah.
Or suck.
7 points.
Fuck you, Jesus.
It's my sneak attack damage. You're a boar, right now, and you're like leaving it, like going away. That's the AO happening, right, or something like that's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say like as you were like withdrawing somehow, it kind of like one of those heads was just focused on Keth, like pop, and the other one kind of like sees you out of the corner of the eye, like backing away, and it just kind of like arcs and grabs you by the haunch for a second, and just like sinks its teeth in for a second, but you make it away.
Yeah.
But
And we're backing up and sort of like never taking our eyes off this two-headed grossness.
okay, grab like a front paw or whatever. That's nice.
Yeah.
Con save here too, or yeah.
Oh yeah, have it make a Constitution.
You can still get your
Can I see
ass.
the handbook real quick?
Yeah.
Can you see the
I am
The
well
handbook
aware.
real quick. I'm gonna look at
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
cure wounds real quick.
I guess for your hammock.
Cool.
Yep.
Seven
Play a
place.
lot. Yep, absolutely. Yes.
Cool.
Um,
So we are doing a charging tusk attack again.
Rude.
I'm ready.
It's all I got is a boar.
No, it's I'm joking. It's fantastic. Do it.
Poopity poops. 7, 8, 9.
Are you attacking?
Yeah.
That's with your bless.
Yep.
Oh, God.
I'm not in my frame.
I'm not spending the inspiration.
Cool. So yeah, you charge into the fray, and the wolf very deftly sidesteps, not falling for that trick again.
It was one.
Warford also slipped in the bloody mud a little bit.
Yeah. Gross.
Bloody mud.
And was just bitten.
Yeah.
Keth.
Yes,
Kill it.
Kethkin. It is time. Are you ready?
Yes.
You're about to get smacked so hard with my mycelium staff. I'm like literally like,
Weird.
Keth is gonna reach behind his back. He's got like a freaking two-headed wolf on his torso, and he's gonna bring his staff two-handed down, like right on top of its skull.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the metal middle.
The
part.
middle part.
Head
And that is
crusher.
an 18.
Hit for sure.
That's a 16 plus 2
sure.
plus 4.
For sure.
So that's a lot.
Still for sure.
22.
Can't be more for sure than for sure.
And that's gonna make that a D8.
I'm for sure.
Because I'm doing two-handed. And it's gonna be plus 4 instead of plus 2 because I activated the thing. And that is an 8. No, sorry, a 3. Sorry.
3
Glare.
points of damage.
3 plus 4, 7.
So 7 total.
And as I like bring it down, I'm gonna like kind of like try to like hold my staff there and let go with one hand and come back with an uppercut as a bonus action.
Nice. It looks a little bloodied, but it's going real strong.
I know. I can feel its life as it sucks mine out. 14 plus a lot.
Yeah, you
That's gonna
definitely
be-
hit full
yeah.
damage.
I'm like,
Animals
I don't math well, y'all.
notoriously not great at AC.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem accurate. Animals are pretty tough.
And that is gonna be
I mean, they're better than an average human,
Yeah.
so you can go that way.
plus 3 points of damage.
3 points. Any other attacks?
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna use a key point to do the
Flurry of blows.
flurry of blows.
All right.
That's a D8. I know what I'm jiggling in my hand. And that's definitely gonna hit.
Okay.
Get two. But there's another.
All right, and so I'm gonna swing. It's gonna be another 3 points of damage, Bill. And when I hit with the flurry of blows, I can push it away. Sorry, dex save or knocked prone, strength save or pushed away, and no reactions till the next turn. So I'm gonna need you to make a strength save.
To be pushed away.
To be pushed away.
To be pushed away.
Yeah, that you do not have advantage on.
Yeah, just the prone stuff. Mm-hmm. 8.
Excuse me.
So you fail,
Cool. Pushed away.
and you're pushed away, and you have no reactions until your next turn.
Cool. I already used it anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's not next to you right now. So that's,
Yeah,
that's nice.
it's not on me anymore, at
Do
least.
you want to?
And then is there anything like trees or anything like that around?
Oh my God! Everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's sparse in this area because it is a clearing. This is the grove, and at the same time there's a few trees here and there. They're smaller. They're not necessarily the climbable.
but are any of them taller than me?
They're taller than you. They're just very thin.
So like if I walked up one, it would break.
You'd have to really be careful.
Okay. And there's like nothing else, like all this like brambly stuff around. Can I like walk up that at all? It's like a solid surface. Like what is this like circle that we're in? What is it made out of?
Which circle?
We're like in this like brambly circle, right? And we're like in this like little passageway that goes out.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I walk over to the totem and
Yeah.
I walk up the totem.
That is very easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna ask you for a roll.
That's right. Well, I also made you those things.
Yes.
So
Hey, by the way, Decoy D Snow says, "Oh my God, I love your hair." I'm only assuming they're meaning Fisher.
I was
I mean,
it could be any of us.
realistically, we all have
Guys.
amazing hair.
Right?
I barely have hair right now.
It's still amazing.
Yeah.
Fight me. It's an opinion.
It could be
I mean, I'm probably not
my
gonna fight
lovely
you.
chest hair, though.
We're fighting something together. It's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, Keth like pushed this thing off of him. He's not looking so great, so he's kind of like, Ferg, I'm gonna need to take a second up a tree. I got darts. Don't sweat it. And like just like walks up, uses his spider climbing shoes, and just walks up the totem, and is now standing at the top of the totem.
Okay.
Sweet.
And I have a lot of movement, so I'm sure I can do that.
Yeah.
70
Done and
feet.
done. Joy.
Oh boy.
Spiritual weapon bonus attack.
Oh, guys, it was my hair. I win. Just saying.
Yes.
It was your hair?
It was my hair.
Let's see.
You don't know what the rest of my hair looks like.
I love how you're like, fight me, I win.
Fight me, I win.
I mean, it is on point, so let's be clear. That's really good.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm just being really
Oh,
vain.
I
I'm a little
can do.
drunk. I don't know who that is.
Good. Gotta get more of that green tea.
Green tea.
How bad do you two look?
Rude.
Not
So
great.
right here.
I'm bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Boar looks fucked up. You look.
Yeah. I'm like
Or-
below 25% right now. I'm like
Or is
18%.
bleeding from haunches and shoulders.
Okay. Who's closer to me?
Keth looks like he got bit by a shark.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like that Ripley's Believe It or
Yeah.
Not guy whose torso like got held together by his wetsuit. That's what Keth looks like right now.
I never saw that one or read
It's
about
fucked
it.
up.
Plus awful pustules.
All right. I'm gonna
Yeah, and I'm pussy. I forgot about
I'm
that.
here often. Ever.
move up to.
No, just awful pustules.
Okay. I'm gonna move up to Boar because Boar is closest. And I'm gonna cure your wounds
Cool.
by reaching, sort of trying to touch you, but not being able to actually physically make contact. So just like reach in a little bit, but as in a non-privacy invading way that I can. More than just like trying to touch your spirit,
Yeah.
so I can heal you
Touch my spirit.
because I can't exactly touch your shoulder right
You
now.
put your essence inside of the boar.
Oh, that sounds worse.
Yeah. You trip and you put all of you inside the boar.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So you get that 14 hit points back.
Holy shit.
That's hot.
Yeah, 1d8 plus 3.
We now have a healer in the party. No offense, Shannon.
Yeah, the wolf notices that and just sort of like in a very awful gurgly way just sort of hisses, which you've never heard a wolf hiss before.
True.
Ah,
And then also
Role-playing.
bonus action spiritual weapon.
Can I bonus action
Yes, you
that?
absolutely
Yes.
Really?
can you hiss synchronous?
No, actually,
like a
hang on.
lot. I don't think I
The spiritual weapon attacks every
Yeah,
time
okay.
regardless. You
One,
only have to
two,
move it as a
three.
bonus action.
Both heads.
Oh.
But you didn't have to move it because you attacked the wolf before.
Right. So
Yeah.
if it's already on the wolf, you
That's
can just
beautiful.
attack it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not a bonus action, it just happens.
So go
Okay.
for it if you'd like.
And
18.
Yeah,
Oh,
That'll hit the wolf.
definitely,
All right.
100%.
And dick damage again, 4.
Cool.
Man, my weapon sucks.
You know what? It's good at grinding people down.
I mean, it can do up to 11, but
Yeah.
I've just rolled ones both times.
And it's always a bonus action, so if you have it up, fucking use it.
It's still wolfing around.
If
I mean, creepy
Are you
two-headed
doing
woman.
character sheets?
Yes.
Sweet, thanks. So,
And now it's...
that just
Yeah.
happened.
Just
The
happened.
wolf.
So
More like,
yeah, pretty much.
We should all be listening to Werewolves of London.
So I feel like the wolf is kind of single track minded right now and going for like A, the one who hit it repeatedly, and B is like what it's perceiving as the weakest.
you gonna try to knock me off a totem pole?
Oh yeah, you went up, didn't you? How hig'd you get
It's
up?
an IPA.
Well, however tall the totem pole is, I went to the top. I got 70 feet of movement, so
Ooh, damn.
I'm going to finish it for you.
Fair enough.
Get you an old German.
Hey
Yeah,
Bill,
if you want it.
how tall is the totem pole?
The totem pole is roughly 30 feet tall.
Gotcha. How does this dog feel about trying to climb it? Poorly. This is not. It's
make an insight
It's
check.
a dog.
it's a death dog technique. Different.
I would say, Will, that it's very much thinking at this point outside of the norm of a dog.
Mm-hmm. What's the terrain look like again? Where we're at?
Well, it's mostly clear with like the trail is sort of a bit those.
But this is like a clearing. It's a meadow kind of thing.
It's a meadow. It's a
stuff.
clearing. The trail that you're on has that sort of like very fine pebble sort of trail, and then outside of that, there's just like a bunch of like wild grass and like a variety of like fungal growth, mycelium, that kind of thing.
Is there anything like, like that it could sort of like spring onto like and kind of like work its way up height-wise to get towards like a leap at the totem pole? Or,
Absolutely.
Oh, that's 100% going to try and do that. Yeah. I don't know how successful it's going to be at it.
Barbarian beer.
So yeah, it's doing this thing where it's kind of like you see it like kind of like look at you in like one head, like Keth sees like one head kind of like look at the totem pole and look up to you while the other head is kind of doing this other like looking at this path that it's going to trace up to you, and then when both heads kind of get there, it moves and goes and starts like bounding up these different like fungal growths to get towards you and like leaps
I
to
would
attack.
like to take a tusk of opportunity.
Yes.
I'm 100% okay with that.
Yes. And while the wolf is leaping up,
I said.
is that on the? Yeah, I said hello. As the wolf is leaping up onto the sort of like fungal growths, it's almost like the fungal growths are growing out to match each step. Some of it, like if the wolf kind of came up short, the fungal growths sort of like grow out to match its step so it doesn't fall.
That's so creepy.
I was aiming.
What you got?
Ooh, interesting.
9.
Okay, so you sort of
try.
gore
I'm
out.
not used to this body.
It took off at a weird angle that you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
It frankly went that way. All right.
acrobatics check, please.
Cool. I'm sure this is phenomenal at that.
I love acrobatics checks.
10?
10 is what you needed.
Cool.
So now
It's got some help.
I'd like you to make an athletics check to see if you make the jump to where Keth is on the totem pole.
Are you just trying to knock me off the top of the totem pole? Because there's no way we can both stand on top of a totem pole, right? Like, are you just like lunging at me to push me off over the edge?
I'm basically like, actually, like this is kind of what I would say. So depending on if we're going by jump rules, Bill, can I get to within 15 feet in terms of the jump?
You're a little shy of that.
A little shy of that? Okay, then definitely would have to do a roll.
Yeah.
Because like its strength is 15 to like make that like by jump rolls, right? So okay, it's got to make a roll. But what it's trying to do is actually it's trying to grapple you, knock you off the pole, and take you to the ground, right? Like it's kind of its goal.
Okay.
And like so almost to kind of like have you on the ground and like start mauling you is kind of the ultimate goal.
I will say that one head could bite and the other head could grapple if it wanted to.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to try to do.
Why am I not level 4 yet?
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna. Sorry.
Athletics check to try and make that, and it makes it. 100% makes it.
Okay, can I make like a grapple check to see if I don't get fucking knocked off or like a dex save
no,
or
Well,
something?
it still has to hit you,
So yeah.
Okay.
Yours is working.
but it is at advantage.
No. Okay, so first off, what are you going to do first, the grapple or the bite?
100% grapple.
Okay, so you're basically both making a strength athletics check, and it's a contested roll.
Or dex for you as
I'm a
the
monk.
defender.
Correct.
As the defender.
Oh,
As a
okay.
defender, you can do acrobatics or athletics,
Yeah.
whichever one you
And,
choose.
and
Acrobatics,
bless is
definitely.
not in this equation. It will count as skill.
Damn it.
The dog's going to use inspiration point.
Get the fuck out of here.
Shut up, Will.
Go die.
I like killing my party members as a death dog.
All right, ready? We're rolling at the same time. 1, 2,
Eye
3.
contact. Ooh, that's not that good for me. What did you roll?
I rolled
Flat 10 plus 12.
flat 10 plus 4.
Oh!
We both rolled a 10 though, so I just want to say that was
That's
So the wolf. Okay, so now just roll the bite attack.
Yeah, so like one head tries to get you, misses. The other one's coming in last minute though.
You will not have the advantage because
it tried to
of
thing.
Yeah, the grapple.
That's gone. Goodbye. Misses. It was real graceful. It spent all of its energy to get up to you, and by the time it got there, it went snap, snap, boom, and hits the ground.
I just say, like, I threw its weight
I'm actually
over
not
me?
going to say it hits the ground. I'm actually going to
Oh, it's
say
flying now.
that all 4 of its appendages sort of like it snapped out at you. It ultimately missed, and then it kind of slid down about 5 feet on the totem pole, and it is up there with you.
But it didn't slide more than 5 feet away from me.
It slid about 5 feet away
Damn
from
it.
you. So
I wanted an attack of opportunity.
so ultimately,
It doesn't count for like non-intentional movements like that.
That's fair.
so right now it's like you're not in range to like attack it, unless I actually would allow you to just smack it like at a distance with your staff. But otherwise, you're not in range.
Like
unless you-
one-handed.
unless you
I have
slide
darts
down 5
too,
feet.
but we can
Cool.
talk about that.
Cool.
I have some prepared darts.
Just
It's the boar.
That was terrifying.
that was
started
cool.
moving again.
I was like, I'm gonna die right now.
What?
Oh yeah, it's right here.
What do you want? So Connor, the boar is doing what?
in the chat. Some people have the crown, some people don't. What does it mean?
How far away is the totem pole?
It has to do with your profile status.
From you?
Yeah,
Maybe.
not very far.
Definitely within your range.
Yeah,
For sure.
And it's about 25 feet up on the pole.
yeah.
Holding the pole.
Shake the pole.
Oh my god, yes. Sorry, I just hit me. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Now it is their turn.
It just hit you.
Yeah,
Hey,
That's
comedy.
totally intended that.
Well, your attack is an improv comp.
So
what you got?
we're gonna
Your best shot.
back up 20-ish feet, so we're about 40 feet from the totem pole. Then we're gonna bonus action dash straight at the pole, hoping to knock this death dog loose.
Fastest boar alive. Okay.
Fastest boar alive.
So here's what I'm gonna say.
Cool.
I'm gonna say you're gonna roll a d20,
Okay.
and you're gonna add your strength bonus, just your strength bonus, and that is going to be the DC that the wolf has to make as a acrobatics check to basically not fall.
Cool. Because Kath is totally gonna see us coming. And
Yeah.
Prepared.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to do the same thing.
Can I do it at an advantage because I have sticky spider shoes on?
I was gonna say, don't you have those
Yeah, I'd say that'd be
sticky shoes on?
Never mind. You don't have to make the roll.
Can I also make an argument for? I mean,
Your
it's-
ankles might
it's,
break
It's literally the same for the death dog, but just on like a perspective level, like more like athletics hold. Because if we're talking about it just holding on by claws, I think it's like bearing in as opposed to like an athletics trying to like grab a thing, right?
That is.
But it's the same role for me, but I think just like a cognitive
Yeah.
sense. I'll wait for you so I know what I gotta.
Fuck. So 8 plus 1, so 9.
Okay. DC 9.
Fail.
Drink my beer backwards.
Damn it.
14, so 17 or 16 total. It just like it kind of sees you coming, and it like I would say like you like one head is watching you, one head is staring up at Kef, and so like it kind of just like goes and moves around to the other side of the pole. So like when the wobble happens, it's just like in the best. It's easy for it to kind of take it, right?
Really smart dog.
And what's your strength bonus?
Wisdom.
the Rock
Or
Queen.
strength bonus as well.
It's plus 1.
There you go.
So you take 2 points of damage from
Rock
that.
Queen.
From that. And you
You have to say it like
yeah.
Rod Queen.
But you hear
and then
like splintering
someone else
wood a
has to do
little
the-
bit
Rock Queen.
as the totem takes something. Right?
And like one of the faces that he's hanging off of has just got like these huge gouge marks through it now.
Keth.
Yes, it is my turn.
That was
Yeah.
what I was expecting to take.
So Keth essentially would like to do a double attack with the staff.
Double attack with the staff.
D6, you know, like where you go smack smack.
Yeah.
Can I do that as my action? We've talked about that in the past.
You'll have to, yeah, you totally can, but you have to slide down 5 feet. And remember that you pretty much, so with your slippers, all you have to do is be attached by your feet.
Yeah,
Is
just
that
can
true?
stand next to
Spider-Man,
it.
and you just stand up straight. It
Wow.
doesn't matter.
I just stand next to it. Yeah.
That's
Gravity turns off,
That's
too.
awesome. I literally keep forgetting about that. You absolutely can do that. You basically just walk down to it. You're welcome.
Yeah.
That would hurt so bad.
And then
You
I
must have the
basically,
most
I kind of want
badass
to do like a
ankles.
smack smack, like trying to like knock its paws off, if that makes any sense. Like I'm trying to knock it off. Like I'm just like hitting its 2 fucking paws, like trying to get it to let go. So I'm like
do you
attack
wanna
one,
do-
attack the other.
I would say you got to either do damage to it or try and knock it off. Like it's.
I'd rather try to
it's
knock
basically
it
like
off,
A push thing.
basically.
So first, go ahead and
That's why I was talking to Bill about it, because I was like, I don't know how to effectively do this.
you're gonna do so. This is basically the same thing, except you're pushing it off. So it's gonna be athletics versus athletics. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's like there's
Still
literally
not-
like
and I don't get
there's
my
literally
plus
like
for
a
this?
push check or something.
you do not get the bless for this now.
because bless doesn't work for.
Can I do it at
Ability
advantage
checks.
because I have like purchase and this, he's just hanging off? Like I'm just standing normal, right?
No.
You're holding all your weight.
You're also having, but you're to stand up straight, if you're standing on the side of it, like you're having to like use your body.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
But
fair.
I will say that it's like you're able to be attached by your feet to this pole, but that doesn't account for the fact that you're using all your
I can
core
just stand 8
strength
feet
to
sideways.
just like hold yourself up. You're just like every muscle in your body just fucking bulging.
Okay.
Now. Just yeah.
Gotta try. I really want to knock you off this pole.
I really want you to knock me off this pole too.
You ready?
Yeah, go over it.
One?
I mean, you said it for me. Oh, you want to do the same time? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just to pose
Pose that.
Athletics.
Athletics, yeah. 1, 2, 3.
What you got?
15
10.
plus 5.
Okay.
8
19.
plus 2. 10 total.
19.
You crack it in one of its heads, and the wincing pain causes it to release. Falls all the way down.
25 feet?
Yep. So basically, it's going to take 8 points of damage.
That's like as much as I can do with my staff.
Falls on
That's
the
chill.
ground, and it's currently prone.
I mean, 25 is
And
a.
we say it took 9 points of damage thematically.
Why?
Snap its neck on the ground if it does.
I was gonna kill it
like, It's like
regardless.
right there.
Yeah, no. It's still alive. 1 point.
There's 25 and a half.
And as it falls,
It's down prone on its back. One head is like kind of broken off to the side a little bit, but the other one's going strong for you.
and as it falls, Keth kind of just like calmly like starts to walk back down the totem pole, and as he gets to the ground, he straightens up and he just takes his staff and he twists it.
Attack roll advantage.
At advantage?
Yeah, because it's prone.
Yeah.
And you're blessed.
Is it prone or supine?
I swear to God, if you miss it.
This is actually
18.
not me.
18.
Boom.
It's not the sound that a dog makes when it dies. It's the sound of something far more alien and
Just kind of like,
almost unidentifiable from where the sound is coming from.
Cool.
And when the dog dies, both heads sort of like become, motionless, and then suddenly those strands that I sort of described earlier, all of a sudden just sort of, they almost look like elongated, really thin maggots at first, but then you realize that they are just like it's like hair. It's not hair, it's mycelium, and it's just, and it just like wraps the creature in its entirety and dissolves it very, very quickly.
while Keth is watching this, he is backing the fuck up.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Like,
Borg's
he's not
backing
near
up
this.
away from-
Like,
Joy is
There's a screen
ethereal.
that
and
reaches
he
for
is.
you, but kind of like fades out. Is it true? Nope.
no,
Nope. Just
not
like,
today. Not here for that shit.
It's the curse from Princess Mononoke.
Not today, Satan.
Okay.
Oh, it touches your arm and it starts like rotting and it grows. Yeah.
And you just
spirit is angry.
hear the sort of when it's all said and done, you just hear the sort of deep breathing, just all of you are just sort of like, oh my god, and then also the sort of like crinkling and creaking of the wall of thorns, just kind of standing and sort of swaying in the breeze.
As I hear that, I kind of just like realize like, oh yeah, I'm the one doing that, and I like think really hard and hold my staff, and it dissipates.
Yeah, the dissipation looks like it just all collapsing.
Grows backwards and reverse real quick.
Yeah, and like kind of crumbles simultaneously. It's really cool looking.
Dig it. Also gross.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk over and heal you.
And suddenly, like an unknown, like suddenly I feel a little bit better. Like, I can't see
Yeah.
That's true.
You still have those odd sort of pustules kind of bulging out here and there, but otherwise, yeah, you feel the power of healing somewhat.
So restoration is lesser restoration. That's a not enchantment. What are they called? The ritual. It's a ritual, right? Or is it just a spell?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, then
I think it's just a regular
Then I'm
spell.
going to do that to you.
You're gonna lesser restore me?
Yeah.
Restore?
That's what I did before and it
Rester?
worked.
Yeah. Okay.
Rester.
Lesser
Hardly know her.
rester.
And
So
and those and while it's sort of like spiritually lancing boils, where they just sort of like deflate,
yeah.
and somehow that energy dissipates out of your body.
And Keth remembers Joy doing this for him in the past and kind of just like looks around him, probably in the wrong spot, and says like, Thank you, Joy. Like
I move
appreciate
into
you.
where Kev is looking at.
Ragey Boar snorts some more steam and like motions back to the Kashar. Like,
Yeah.
let's fucking get out of here.
And yeah,
And you're still like, where's this steam coming from?
it's the rage within, the raging inferno. Sorry,
So you can
I
tell
need
the
to watch
war
this
is raging.
Pokemon. That was hilarious.
It was hilarious anyways. Yes, it was.
Yeah, so we head back to the Kashar, Billiam.
Yes, you do.
I always call him that.
So here we go.
Smiles worth $1 billion.
It's well,
How long does it take for them to get back to the Kashar?
here's the thing.
And you have no more
you,
exhaustion
you
too.
could actually just will yourself not to be astral anymore, and you could be back in an instant.
How long was the trip though?
The trip was about almost 2 hours.
Cool.
Oh, that little?
like actually, shortly after everything ends, like a hawk rejoins you, shows back up. Unless there's something that stops me from doing that, but
First, I'm just going to
it's
heal.
just like a ritual that I can cast again and go from there.
Well, right, but the ritual that puts time in his familiar or her familiar is very different.
Okay, well, I mean, the hawk still shows up. It's not time necessarily in it, but still the hawk showing up and time,
And yeah,
time watching the hawk.
Perfect. Yeah. No,
before
Checking in
I
on friends.
Yep.
before I go back, I walk with you guys a little way, but I also heal you up a little bit with my actual cure wounds, not just restoration.
Okay.
So that way, you've now both been
Fine.
healed a little bit.
And here it is. You basically make it back. You basically make it back inside of the border of the Kashar, with you all just sort of like weirdly tasting freedom for just that brief moment. Aside from you, who can leave at any time, and
First,
you
just like whatever I taste.
make it back to Ramulg and Faye and the elder retired druid. Are you okay?
The first thing I say is Farron. Where's Farron? What happened to him?
We sensed his life force return to his body, but he has not woken up.
What does that mean?
On the East Coast.
Canonically.
He's unfortunately on the East Coast.
No.
East Coast of the Astral Sea.
Could mean something. We don't know.
Yeah.
Where's that world ocean we talked about?
The
it in the
giant
sky?
bear that is Ramulg gives you no answer.
Standard, though. You know how standard that is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be frustrated at this answer.
She just sort of tilts her head.
We will find out eventually.
Borferg snorts at Faye.
And gives you a loving lick on the cheek.
Keth starts fashioning a stretcher to carry Farron back. You guys can do whatever you want.
I'm snorting at Faye impatiently, like.
I don't want to be a boar anymore.
She mounts you and says, "Oh no, I'm getting more out of this."
Are we at the city or where?
No,
We're right on the
And she
we're on the
smacks you on the rump.
Oh,
Competing
my.
strength
Yeah,
save.
rage out.
Borferg just rolls over.
Okay. And
Crush.
she kind of laughs as she sort of like she almost like
Because we
thought
know
that
it's
you were
not
going to do
gonna
that.
hurt her.
Yeah, exactly. But she kind of climbs up as you're rolling over, climbs up you and jumps off you and just sort of like giggles and laughs. And then finally goes up to you and sort of like does this sort of as sort of like a hold still
Yeah.
and draws a sigil on the boar's forehead and then takes a powder, a very fine powder, and blows it in the boar's face, and then suddenly you it's unfortunately like a painful transmogrification back to yourself.
I mean, it was not fun turning into a boar either.
No, and it's not fun turning back.
Yeah.
But there you are, and you all see time. Time is alive and well.
Rested.
Time you're alive. I mean, you didn't think you were dead, but good to see you, Baron.
So time. I know you said that you rested, and that's totally fine. This,
Not rested. I know.
but just
Less hurt.
grammatically, I'm going to say that the whole process took time actually down to 1 hit point. It was very, very draining on your physical self.
All right.
But that's neither here nor there. You are all in a relatively safe spot, especially with a giant grizzly bear and
It does help.
guarding you. So Ramog says,
If you'd like to rest, feel free.
Am I chin up to litter?
wait, what do you mean?
You were like giant bear and Fae, and I'm like
Barbarian.
Yes, but as you morph back, you are also at 1 hit point.
Oh fuck! All right.
Yeah.
How am I doing?
You are oddly fine.
Spiritually drained though.
I have been spiritually drained for the last 35 years.
Climb into Kashar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say we long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And during this rest, I pull time aside, heal them up a little bit, and then tell them all the things that I've been trying to say while everyone was incommunicado. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I said. I'm gonna give you the time code, so you can go back and communicate
We've had
that
this
for me
conversation.
Time code.
right now. Sorry about
We're
that.
long resting. You know what that means? You know what that means?
We're leveling up.
Leveling up.
Everyone, and so you're leveling up to 4th level, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's happened.
I'm actually leveling
So
up to second
I think
level.
that this is a very good time to take an official break.
Official break.
And when we get back, we'll be level motherfucking 4.